All right, boys, welcome to the video. This is Sawyer. He has a trading offer. This is going to be a case study on how we went from zero to $10,000 in 7 days on exactly his experience working with me. And Sawyer, tell him a little bit about you.
Yeah, 100%. So I've been trading for a long time now. I've been seeing some success with it and actually built an algorithm. So my offer is a little different than most traders. And Edmund actually lives in my building. So I was looking to get into info sales and info products and find someone who could really help me in terms of growth operating. So that's how I met Edmund. We actually met in the building, and he pitched me on the offer of, hey, we can build out the funnel, build out the framework, and also just kind of gave me the push that I needed. Like, that was the biggest thing, because I was already getting into it a little bit, but I was kind of clueless on how this type of business usually works, right? So he laid down the entire blueprint, told me how much I should charge, and in our first week, we did an insane amount of numbers. Like, I want to say we did close to 10K. And I've been doing this for the last 2 months, and I'm getting really close to clearing 20K. I think by the end of this week, I'll clear 20K, which is absolutely insane. I think, what was it, 1,000% ROI from Edmund. So insane ROI. Like, if you're thinking about getting in on info sales, 100%, this is the move, this is the way to go, and Edmund is your guy.
Yeah, so the biggest thing the biggest thing about Sawyer, and the reason why this case study is so powerful, is because this guy had, I think now he's maybe at 1,500 or 1,600 followers, but he had 1,400 followers when he was working with me, right? So it's absolutely insane that you can make $10,000 with 1,400 followers. It's something that most people aren't able to do.
You think you need some huge audience, and I was kind of skeptical at first, and especially when Edmund's like, bro, you're going to clear 30K in your first month. And I was like, there's no fucking way, bro. 30K my first month. I only have 1,300 followers, bro. And we did 10, and this month we're going to do even more. So it was insane. Like, even if we're shooting for 30K and I hit 15 or 20, I'm happy. Of course, you would be happy too. Anyone would be happy to pull in those numbers with 1,500 followers, right? So the real thing is here, is monetizing your current audience and then using that to grow more and really building out the framework for it as well. So Edmund's really good at that. How to structure your content, how many times you should be posting, where are we going to bring in the leads, how are we going to set the appointments. All that stuff is really complicated, and Edmund is an expert at it for sure.
So the biggest thing before working with Sawyer was like, the biggest issue, and the thing that I thought about was like, okay, this guy, he has 1,400 followers. He's definitely going to make money, but the biggest thing is like leads. Like, how much leads are we going to have? Are we going to have enough leads to really push him to that point, right? I want to get back to before you started info. So you started, this was for the month of November. Mm-hmm. We started working together the beginning of November. So tell me a little bit about mid-October and going into November. Like, what were you currently doing with your info?
So just so you guys can see, here's my Stripe dashboard. We'll see if it can focus. There's 10K on there. I don't know if it'll focus or not, but you get the gist of it. So 10K from Stripe. Half of my payments have been through Stripe. Half of them have been through Bitcoin, Cash, Venmo, through random stuff. So the proof is in the pudding for sure. What was the question again?
Yeah, the question was, because we started working together November, the beginning of November. So tell them a little bit about
what was I doing before? Yeah, so typically what I was doing before is I thought, I was too scared to do high ticket, and when it came down to closing people, I had sales experience, but I didn't have sales experience when it was for my own product, my own offer and info product, so I had no clue what to even do. So before, I was charging clients, I would say there's a couple of them where it was $200 per month. I had 4 or 5 guys where I was making $1,000 per month. It was literally nothing. And then Edmund told me, he's like, listen, bro, instead of charging people monthly, do a one-time payment and then have that be for life. And I started doing that, and that's when I saw way more success, and it really started to take off. So I went from $1,000 per month all the way up to 10 to 20, which is absolutely insane. First 2 months, I'm already like my goals and vision for this is way higher than I ever thought it could be. Like literally I was like on the floor, and now I feel like I'm elevated on a mountain. I could see more to where I'm going to hit 50K a month, 100K a month. I'm already looking at Lamborghini Huracans, right? Like, not to get too far ahead of myself, right? But I see that as a possibility all through Edmond, and I wouldn't be sitting here on this call with these reviews and with these results if it wasn't for Edmond, 100%.
Appreciate it, bro. Now, so we started working. The first thing, like I said, was the followers thing and the traction thing. Once we started working, he had a trading offer that I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It's pretty complicated that I didn't understand. So what we decided to do is I actually reached out to a couple of sales guys, that I knew that were really, really good at sales, because I didn't have the knowledge in trading for his specific offer to be able to close an appointment so well. So can you tell them a little bit about, those sales guys that I was able to get you on a training with?
Yeah, 100%. So that was one of my concerns in the beginning, was like, well, Edmond's not a trader, so how can he help? But he's really good at finding the team and guys that you need, whether you do trading, you do brand scaling, whatever it is, what your value proposition is, he's going to find the guy to help you close the clients that come in. So for me personally, my issue was I didn't have the right experience. So when I would get on the call, like I was just way too nice. Like people would be like, hey, like I need to think about it. And I'd be like, all right, that's fine. Go ahead, think about it. And they wouldn't convert. Like clients weren't converting. And then when I talked to Edmond and he referred me to one of the sales guys, he was helping me. Okay, you need to handle the objections. You need to walk them through it. Just because they say they need to think about it, maybe they need a little bit more. Like maybe they need some more about info about the program, or maybe it's coming from a place of fear. So you want to isolate their pain points and really work around that, so that way you can get them on your value proposition. Because at the end of the day, it's not about taking people's money. It's about helping people, and people are honestly usually pretty skeptical when it comes to doing things off of social media. There's so many scammers out there. So the guys who are actually doing it and actually have a really good offer, I mean, my offer is amazing. All of my guys are killing it trading. What you need to do is kind of push them in the right direction to where you help them make that commitment, because once they make that commitment, you and them can both work together and see the results, and it's kind of a snowballing effect from there. So yeah, the guys that Edmond referred me to for sales training were absolutely dialed. And yeah, it's great.
Perfect, bro. Now, we started working. Weekend, we did around 10 grand. I want to ask, like, what was that like feeling, honestly, because you hadn't sold info before. You started selling info and it worked. Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing, and I want to harp on this, is the 1,400 followers. Like $10,000 with 1,400 followers, it's not common. A lot of people, that you see with hundred thousands of followers, they could hardly even crack like 10 grand, mm-hmm. right? So for him being able to hit 10,000 with such a low follower count, I want to get back to the question is, like, how was that? Like, how is it like, okay, good, now we have proof of concept. Okay, now, so if I get more traffic, like, I can hit 20, 30, 50, even 100.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was amazing, to be honest, like to be able to hit 10K. I didn't even think I thought I would hit a few K, but 10 that quickly was honestly insane. I wasn't expecting it at all, but I knew it was possible because I had been generating interest. The thing that Edmond helped with was, okay, you have a little bit of interest, but how do we leverage that in the sense of doing more content and monetizing what I currently had? So let's say if you're watching this video and you have maybe even less than 1,500, I mean, if you have any amount of following at all, like, and if you have friends or people that that have been interested in what you're doing, then it's just a matter of getting them through the funnel, getting them on a call and talking to them and closing them. That's literally it. So maybe if you had 5 guys, right, 1,500 of them, let's say I can like have, let's say 2% of them on a call, that's 30 people, and I close 3% of them, or not 3%, we'll say we close 10% of them, right? So I close 3 guys, then you're close to that 5 to 10K mark already, just by closing 3 guys. So a lot of guys, when they do trading or when they do whatever, they'll do a low ticket Discord or community or whatever, and it's not worth it. Like, why would you do a low ticket if you have no followers, right? So when you introduce the high ticket, then you can build that out, get more of the team built out, and then maybe if you want to do low ticket in the future, sure. But I didn't know that that was possible through high ticket, and I think that if you're considering this, you'll definitely see the possibility with high ticket as well.
Yeah. So in regards to like growth operating, the best way, because I was skeptical. I was skeptical working with Sawyer, to be completely honest with you guys. But the best way to figure out whether or not if someone's offer can sell, is if you do a cohort, a hand raise or something along the line, and it sells, right? So that's exactly what we did with him, and he was able to hit, 10 grand with. From now on, Sawyer, what are your next steps? What are the next steps with Info?
So next steps with Info are just literally rinsing and repeating what I've currently been doing. So still posting content, and guys, if you don't have like flashy stuff or a bunch of stuff that you can just post, honestly that's fine, because that stuff doesn't convert. You want to be posting stuff that adds value, educational content. I would say 80% of my content is all educational, talking about my trading algorithm, talking about how it works, talking about the system, and the other 20% is me like flexing the lifestyle. If you don't have a lifestyle to flex, it doesn't matter, right? Like anyone can flex some kind of a lifestyle. All you need to do is just really focus on your Info product. So my next steps are going to be rinsing and repeating. I want to hit my goal of 50K per month. That would be just absolutely insane. And just keep building from here on out. Like this is obviously going to snowball. I mean, the referrals that you get from your first initial team, that's actually going to push you even further as well. So I'm hoping I get more referrals, more leads from organic reach. I haven't run a single ad, by the way. This is all organic, and I want to keep it that way. It's just better. So yeah, that would be my goal, is just keep doing what I've been doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and just see where it goes from there.
Yeah. So I want to get to the value, because our, what we did was actually different. It's actually kind of different, because I helped you out a little bit with the content, because that's my biggest thing, was the traction, and I helped you out a little bit with the sales. So how was the value, working with me? How was that? How did you feel the value was?
I thought the value was great. I mean, Edmund wasn't just going in there and kind of doing everything for me. He was pushing me to do more as well, which is something, if you're getting into this business, is what you need. You need someone to tell you, hey, you need to post this is your plan, and this is how you're going to do it. And someone to be on top of you doing it as well, right? Like pause, but like, you know what I mean. So you want someone to be pushing you to do it, so that way you can succeed. But Edmund has like the perfect amount of, okay, this is what I'm going to set up for you. This is what I need from you as well. So if you can have both of those, and someone on your team who's going to manage that and also manage you to help you grow, then it's the perfect synergy to where you're going to have the same results that I had, as long as you have a good product. If you believe in your product, and as long as you're not selling bullshit, then I promise you, you're definitely going to see some great results.
And there, dude, the thing is that there's a lot of like trading, like scammers and all this shit in the trading industry. We're not going to name names.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of, bro. You guys would be surprised, but yeah.
There's a lot of scammers here, and I will tell you this. One of the main reasons why we were able to do 10 grand the first week was because he actually has a good product. Like the algorithm it's actually solid. I was in the Discord even prior to working with him. Like I was in the Discord shortly before we started working, and I was looking around, and like there's actually wins of people. And the funny thing is that you wouldn't think someone with 1,400 followers or with a small audience would have such a good product, but his offer was really, really good. So if you are a client, or if you're someone else who wants to start selling Info, the biggest thing is actually having a good offer. Because if your offer is shit, it doesn't matter what backend systems you put in place. It doesn't matter the sales team. It doesn't matter the sales process. None of that matters if your offer is shit and it's scammy, right? So the last question I have for you, Sawyer, is, would you recommend people to come to me if they need help with growth operating?
Yeah, absolutely, no question. I mean, I would totally agree with what you said before too. Like, you need to make sure, and that's what I was doing, is building the product from the inside before you build it out on the outside. That's going to be the biggest thing, because if I hadn't done that and people were getting on a shit product, then I'd have chargebacks. People would be unhappy. I've never had a client that was unhappy with the service, right? So that's going to be my biggest recommendation to you. If you're watching this, make sure that your product is valuable and people are going to succeed on it. Obviously, it's up to the person. They need to be able to put in the work. But if you think that someone can take your advice and put in the work and see success, then absolutely work with Edmond. 100% I recommend him. I wouldn't be sitting here today having this success if it wasn't for him. 10 out of 10 recommend. And I've seen results for some of my friends that he's worked with as well. They're all killing it. We're all killing it. So absolutely 100% recommend.
All right, boys. That's going to do it for the video. Sawyer, I appreciate you, bro.
Thanks, Edmond. Appreciate it, bro.
You, bro.